How's it going, everybody? It's Jack from Black Storm Comics, and today we're going to be talking about the slab, or not the slab, what seems to be the conversation in the community. And I wanted to share my opinions and my experiences. Doesn't mean you have to do anything that I do, but if you find some of this information valuable, then that's awesome. I'm going to be talking about the reason why I slab some books, why I don't slab some books, why I sell some slabs, why I buy some slabs, 9/6s, 9/8s, and signature series. We're going to be talking all that, because to me, this is a complicated subject. It's not just all or nothing. So we're going to be getting into it. So let's get started. Right. So the first thing that I'm going to be telling you guys about slabbing books is the main reason that I slab all my books. One big reason, and probably the biggest reason, is the protection, right? I like the way this plastic feels. It's hard, it's in, right? I handle these all the time. I have a slab wall up there with the J channel, right? I like to swap these out. I like to change the display. It's all part of the hobby, man. Put these in boxes, swap them out, put them on the wall, whatever, put them back here. I love to do all that stuff, right? And I feel a lot more confident when I hold this. So when it comes to moving stuff around, it's just the law of nature that the more you move something around, the more likely that something's gonna happen to it. You either drop it, you put it somewhere you're not supposed to. Accidents happen all the time. This slab here, I won this in a raffle. It was shipped out to me, which is another reason, right? Because the more you ship stuff across the country, the more likely that that book's gonna get damaged. Just because you treat your books with respect doesn't mean the UPS man is going to do the same, right? And so just keep that in mind. But this got damaged, right? Check that out. It just straight up cracked the side, right? And this was well packaged as well. This was well packaged. It was just one of those accidents, those freak accidents, right? The book is still good, right? It's a 9.0. You can dispute that or whatever, but the book is still in the same condition that it was shipped into. If I crack this, the book itself is still in good condition. I don't really sweat this. Do I want to crack this and resubmit it? No, because I really don't. I really don't mind, because the book is still protected. The slab did its job. That's what the slab's supposed to do. Here I found this the other day. I was going through some of my books and I found this book. I love this book. But this book was kind of tucked underneath. It got caught, and you guys can see the mylar got bent. Like the whole thing got damaged. So this thing, it's already a low grade. That's why I'm not really sweating it as much. But if this was a higher grade, more valuable book, then I'd probably be a little bit more upset about it. But this is something that you don't have to worry about with slabs. When you put them in a box, you don't have to worry about them bending weird or something like that. You don't have to do all that stuff. When you're handling them, you also don't have to worry about putting this one at the bottom and then stacking stuff or whatever on it, and then having something underneath that will bend it, right? Because I've damaged books like that before, and that's just how it is. It's just accidents do happen. Now, there's other ways to protect your books. Here is top loader. I have a top loader here. The thing with these top loaders though is that they get scuffed up pretty easy. Like here on camera, it looks pretty nice, but if you look at it in person, this one's got like a really big scuff right there. So well, I can't display this with my slabs because I have the J channel, so I can't really display this because it's not the right size. Like if I could find top loaders that could fit in the same slots as my slabs, that would be awesome. So I have been trying to look for alternatives. For example, these BCW cases, they're very nice. They look nice. They do get scuffed up pretty easy, and the glare on these is nuts. But look at this one. This one fell off the wall, right? Protected it. It did its job. The book is still protected. And I do like these, but the only thing about them is I can't display them with the rest of my slabs. Why don't I just switch to this and put all my books in some of these and then change the J channel so they can fit this? Well, the reason is because all my high value books are in slabs, right? All the high value books I have are in slabs. And the reason for that is buying them, right? Like this one has that grade on it, right? And you can argue with it or whatever, but the market usually decides. Almost everyone says it's going to agree that this is a 9.0, right? Might be a little off. You'll have sellers that'll try to say, oh, this is better than, if you press and clean it or whatever, or they'll just say if it's really low grade, oh, this presents well for a low grade. You know, it's just, you can get into so much stuff with it, right? But the why this is important is because when you have raw books, that opens up the door for a lot of funny business, right? A lot of funny business. You can have forged signatures that way. You can have people selling stuff with like defects in the book that, you know, you might miss. You can angle pictures, the lighting, so that you can't see spine ticks, pictures, all kinds of funny business. Me personally, at cons, I like to buy raw books at cons because you can actually hold the book and look at it. Because I've had an instance where someone at a con tried to sell me it was a coverless Hawkman #4, but it had a photocopied cover on it. But you could tell it was off because the printing, it was like very fuzzy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what's to say that person puts it on, they put a little fuzzy, low quality picture? That's a red flag to me. So you don't have to worry as much about that when it comes to buying, selling, and trading slabs. The grade, you might dispute that, especially 9.6s and 9.8s, right? But we'll talk about those in a little bit. The grade for me is important, for me, right? Not necessarily for me, but for family members, right? For the woman. Something was to happen to me and she needs to liquidate my collection. Look, it has all the information on there. It has a grade, has the information, says exactly what it is. So then she can use resources to see exactly what this is worth. So you don't have some kind of dirty flipper coming around and saying, you know what, all this stuff is only, all these old comic books, I'll give you $500 for all of these. You know, to a non-collector, $500 sounds like a lot, but to a collector, who knows what they have? You know, they want to turn into a zombie and crawl out the grave. So again, that's why this is also important, because it makes it easier for someone who doesn't know as much about comic books to buy, sell, and trade books. Now, when it comes to 9.8s and 9.6s, I love 9.6s when it comes to buying them. I don't really mind them when I send books and they come back at 9.6. I really don't sweat it because I don't think that the difference between 9.8 and 9.6 is, you know, that much. It's probably like a little tick. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes 9.6s look better than 9.8s, right? I don't buy 9.8s. I'll tell you that right now. I do not like to pay for 9.8s at those prices. However, when I submit a book, I do like to get 9.8s. I like it when they come back. I mean, that's awesome. It's kind of like, hey, this is cool, you know? However, if it's a 9.6, I'm not really bummed about it because, again, it's the book. And for me, it was also the signature, which leads me to my next point. Signatures. I think that is probably the most valuable service that CGC provides, is the witness signature, right? Because look at these signatures, right? There's a lot of artists out there that are very talented. How many times do you see when they take a cover and they recreate it and it looks great, right? What's to say somebody recreates signatures? And that's why I liked buying, if I'm gonna buy a signature, I like buying them when they're verified. Okay, and when it comes to like modern variants like this, if they're a really cool cover, and I get to meet a artist or whatever, like I met here, Jenny Frizzy, I might as well get it Slab. I might as well get Slab verified. It just looks awesome, and it just goes into the collection. Now, does it always have to be a yellow label? Not for me. Not for me. Check this out. This one, I bought this Slab super cheap, right? It's a 9.4, like I said. I don't stick to 9.8s. 9.8s really, I don't have FOMO for those. This is signed by William Messner Loebs, right? Now, he signed my Slab because I really love this cover, and this book was already Slab. And I really enjoyed this company. It was a great experience, and it's something I won't forget, having this conversation with him. So for him to be like, hey, can you sign this book? So to me, this is more of a souvenir from that con that I went to. So I don't have a problem. I don't, you know, stuff that I'm gonna keep, you know, in my collection and it's already Slab, I don't mind just getting it signed. I love getting signatures on variants, but when it comes to like really big keys, I'd rather not get them signed. So at least on the book, I'd rather not get ink on the cover. I don't know, for me, that's just me. But I do love getting the slab signed, right? Again, it's part of the experience. James O'Barr came to a local con, met him. I took this was already slab. Great, didn't bother me, got a great deal on it, and he signed it. The crazy thing about modern books that are kind of like around that 5.0 is that they're like, everyone discriminates against these things, you know, like slabbers don't want them, people who buy raw books don't want them, nobody wants these, you know, and I absolutely love these mid-grade books. Here's another one. Paid $1 for this one. And again, this one's for display purposes. Like if I was to have an alien ball, like to me, that gives me satisfaction. And here's is a book that gives a lot of collectors anxiety. This is my Venom Legal Protector #1. And it's got a remark on the slab. See that? On the slab. I think it looks dope, you know, but there was like, I had somebody comment on it, like, really on the, like, why would you do that on the slab? Or, you know, like I said, I don't know. I think it looks dope. I don't think it's any different than, you know, like I saw people getting like those big Funko Pop boxes, and then people getting like a Venom on the window. I don't see anything different than that, right? And this is just an old slab. I just love it. It's just awesome, dude. It makes me happy, dude. It makes me happy. And again, I can display this with an entire Venom row. However, there is one thing that I probably used to do, but that I didn't do. And that's modern books, right? This is an awesome Adam Hughes cover, 9/8. Now, this is something that I would not submit anymore unless it was a signature series. However, I will buy it. Like I bought this one for the price of, you know, getting slabbed. So I basically get a free book. However, this is something that I probably won't do as much anymore. It's just getting just variant stuff, just plain variants, no signature, slab or whatever, as much as I want to display them. However, I will buy them in the market. Like when nobody wants them, I will scoop them up. Unless it's like a high value variant. Like I said, unless it's like a high value variant. But these like cover price variants, this is something I would not do. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing for you guys. I know that I slabbed some stuff, and again, when it comes to it, it's just kind of like what works for you, like what makes you happy, you know, what are your things that you're thinking about, and what do you guys think down below? I'll see you guys. All right, peace.